Hello everyone. Thanks for joining me. Today I wanted to talk about our tendency to think that happiness, joy, fulfillment is something that we can get to sometime in the future, that it's something we have to work for, that it's something we need to do something for, that it's something that cannot be obtained in the present moment, something in the future when we complete something else. And I wanted to discuss that and really introduce an idea that happiness is actually something that is available to us always. It is our right. It is something that is completely in our control, and it's not something that we get from other people or circumstances per se. Happiness, as every other feeling and emotion, is something that happens within us. So any emotion, whether it's joy, enjoyment, or anger, or frustration, this is something that has nothing to do with what's happening outside, but everything to do with what's happening within us. And yes, there are people or circumstances that may act as triggers or catalysts for this particular reaction within us, but ultimately it's really, really important to understand that everything that we're feeling is ours, our responsibility, because it's happening in our body. So ultimately, it is in our control and our responsibility how to deal with it, how to process it, and how to communicate it. So that idea that only when my partner changes can I be happy, or when I get more money I'll be more at ease, or when the world changes and becomes a kinder place I can be less in reaction, that's just an untruth. So we spend our lives in these untruths, expecting, waiting, pausing, living, pausing happiness, pausing enjoyment, pausing action, until some unclear point in the future where something outside of us is going to change, then we'll start feeling better. So that's just not the truth. I really want to make it clear, because there is a lot of confusion in regards to that, and I speak to people daily, and of course I mostly deal with myself daily. I understand where all this comes from. This comes from our childhood, when we when our mind wasn't yet fully developed. It felt, we were so egocentric that it felt as if everything around us is about us and because of us. And we continue living that way into adulthood, robbing ourselves from the life that we're here to live. And it's not about positivity at all. I'm really not into that. But it is about understanding where we give our power away, and understanding that we have more control and we have more choice than we think. So yes, there are these unconscious urges and drives and fears and limitations. A lot of it has to do with our beliefs and what we've inherited from the families or cultures from which we come. And that's what the work is, right? Understanding why we're not allowing ourselves to live the lives that we want, that we desire, or even understanding what that is. So many of us cut ourselves short even before we understand what is possible and what is it that we actually want. We just keep ourselves small because that's familiar, and that's how it's always been. But what I want to really make clear in this message is that anytime you catch yourself saying, I'll be happy when, that's a trap. The only thing we have is the present moment. That's the only reality. Whatever happened in the past is no longer real, and what's going to happen in the future is not here yet. So in the present moment, with where you are today, what do you need to do, say, or decide in order to live the life that you want? And what are the limiting beliefs that you need to face? And what are the habitual ways of being, thoughts that you need to make visible and change if you feel that that doesn't serve you anymore? And another thing that that came to me today that was really, really important to me, somebody this morning said, healing, it's not so much about healing, it's about revealing ourselves. Because healing implies that there is something wrong with us, or that we are broken, or that something about us needs to be changed. Whereas the purpose of healing, the way we call it, it's about self-revelation. That's what feels great. That's when we become whole. That's when we become happy, is when we are in our completeness and ready to reveal who we truly are. And that is available to us at any moment. We don't have to wait for anything in the future. We don't have to wait for our partners to change or for life to become different for us to start showing, revealing ourselves and who we are. So some food for thought for you. I would love to hear if you have any comments, or if you sense you're reacting in a way to negate what I just said or to argue with me. I welcome that. I thrive in that. Let me know your thoughts, because this is something that goes against everything that we were taught to live by. So I understand that it's not an easy thing to accept, but please play with me with these thoughts and let me know what you think and how you feel that may or may not be applicable to your own life. Thanks for joining. Bye.